Hey, we're going to talk about the movie, American Ultra. Here we begin. This Mike Howell is cuffed in a holding cell, shaking his right leg. Cells open with buzzer. Officer came inside to examine Mike, outside cell Bill Pullman watching them. The officer inquires, where do you want to begin? Mike recollects streak cuts of dustpan, spoon, noodles, teddy bear, terminated bullet, frying pan fire, Apollo ape, marry me. Mike recaps in streak cuts of devastation happened. "3 days back, it's begun in the town of Lyman, West Virginia. Mike's life is very peaceful with his sweetheart Phoebe. Mike feels Phoebe is the only great thing that happened to him. He is much connected to her. He can't accept life without her. Mike saved a ring for his girlfriend Phoebe. The two of them were gathered to go on a surprise trip to Hawaii to propose to her, but they were unable to form it because of Mike's panic attack in the washroom. Phoebe excuses Mike in spite of his repeated apologies. It is no surprise that Mike goes back to his job as a clerk at a convenience store. Because business is slow, Mike wastes time creating cartoons and sketching instead of working. He creates a continuous cartoon starring Apollo ape. CIA headquarters, Agent Victoria Lasseter reading a nonsensical file, got a call stating that the Tough Guy Ultra project is underway. The target is Wiseman asset, Howell. He is scheduled to be eliminated within 24 hours, and she is advised not to interfere with the operation. She met another agent. Adrian Yates inquired him why Tough Guy was moving on her baby Wiseman, killing the human. As an administrator he accepts they are resources of the government. Howell is making security bleach attempting to leave the town. So, they are clearing them and ordering Victoria to leave. It is nighttime at the top of a car. Mike and Phoebe are relaxing, discussing the aspects that bring them happiness. Mike saw many police cars in the distance. A car had crashed into a tree. A truck is getting ready to tow the car away. A very stone Mike is talking about how the tree has been standing there at the end of its time, and the only fair thing that happened was when it stopped the car. He starts to cry because he believes he is the tree and Phoebe is the car. She makes him feel better and tells him that it is not true. They are sad and both receive comforting hugs. The following day, Mike leaves the house early, but he tells Phoebe a lie that he is going to buy groceries. He sees his buddy Rose gathering firecrackers, and he plans to impress and surprise Phoebe to propose with the firecrackers. That night, Mike is at the store outlining cartoons. Victoria comes into the store with soup and milk and alerts him using secret words. Mike doesn't understand and thinks it's song lyrics. Victoria apologizes and explains that she was trying to save him. Mike, who was holding a hot cup of noodles, noticed that two guys were doing something bad to his car tires. He went outside and told them to stop. They attacked Mike aggressively with knives, and something happened to Mike's eye and he fought back. He threw noodles at one person and stabbed another with a spoon. Then, he took the gun from one of them and shot both in the head, killing them. Afterward, he called Phoebe at her job and told her that he murdered two men. He became freaking scared if she didn't go to him. Phoebe became extremely upset when she saw the dead bodies. The police came and saw Mike. Yates informed that they lost two assets dealing with Wiseman Mike. Yates asked how this happened. The officer replied Mike killed both with a spoon. Yates suspects Victoria. He then asked asset Mike, and the officer said he was being arrested, and now two agents Crane and Laffer are assigned to take him out of where they are locked. While locked up, Phoebe asked Mike what exactly happened and what Victoria clearly said. Just then, the prison guard came to check on Mike and started questioning him. Mike was so nervous that his leg is shaking. Phoebe said he was protecting himself when they attacked him, and suddenly the electricity went out in the police station. Another officer came and said they had a problem. The crane comes, and Mike and Phoebe went into the cell. Before they know who's coming, the crane fires bullets that keep coming, so the officer is dead. Laffer came at Mike, the officer was shot. Lasseter grabbed Mike and something happened again in Mike's eyes. He fought back and ran away from Lasseter. Crane saw Mike and Phoebe running. She fires at Mike and Phoebe, and they keep escaping from bullets. An officer who was hit with a bullet tied cuffs to Crane's legs, and she killed the officer. Both Mike and Phoebe ran out. Police station follows by Crane throwing a grenade. Mike catches it and throws it back. Police station blows up. Mike comes back, breaks Crane's hand and neck, then moves from the spot. Victoria Lasseter saw the destruction at the police station. She calls Yates and asks why he did all this. Yates answers that Mike took his 2 officers, and Victoria reminds him that this operation is murder, so she tells Yates that he is going to witness something bad. Mike and Phoebe quickly walk to the store. Phoebe wants to leave town, but Mike thinks it's not possible. He suggests going with their friend Rose, but Phoebe disagrees. Both become extremely scared and they embrace each other tightly. A plastic bag flies up and touches a parked car on the road, a sudden explosion. Yates' agents had previously planted a bomb there. This surprises both of them, and Phoebe tells them to get into her car and drive away quickly. Victoria Lasseter is watching the destruction of the sheriff's office when she notices Mike's items and a dead Crane resting on a chair. Sensing that things were not going well, she calls her former colleague Petey and describes the scenario. She wants to know about the specifics of Yates' operation and asks for a weapon. The baggage parachute lands. Victoria witnessed the bundle of weapons and agent data, and she verifies that Yates is employing mental victims in the operation. Later, Yates contacts Petey, informing him that he is aware of the supply shipment and threatens to execute him for treason. Victoria said thanks to Petey, informing him she will make public about Yates's use of mental patients to program. Petey says he can no longer assist her and will be punished as a traitor to the country. That same night, Mike and Phoebe come to Buddy Rose's house. Mike is in anaphylactic shock, remembers a memory from his childhood, and expresses his thoughts that he had the strangest thoughts in his head. Buddy Rose confronts him with a face mask, a short gun, and takes them inside. Rose introduces his 2 friends to Mike and Phoebe, and later on TV, he gives an update about Lyman town that had a breakthrough with super typhoid declared by CDC, so the town barred in and out access. Sources of the epidemic believed to be Mike and Victoria, their photographs shown on TV, warnings that they are more contagious. And anyone who knows about them to notify authorities immediately. Rose becomes perplexed after watching Mike on TV and aims the pistol at him. Mike and Phoebe were placed in underground quarantine. Yates lands at a military camp where he sees agents setting up missions in a dark truck. He sees Lasseter there. Yates asks him about Mike, and Lasseter shows the broken teeth that Mike took. Yates confirms Mike's location. He ordered to employ Newton, Lasseter, and Bourbon to roll and use rifloxin gas to kill Mike. Mike and Phoebe are trapped inside the room. Phoebe is attempting to exit through the ceiling. A Yates agent enters Rose's home covertly and blows toxic gas through vents. A second agent comes with a shotgun and shoots Rose as well as his 2 friends. Mike is in the locked room thinking about proposing to Phoebe again, thinks it's not the perfect moment. Toxic gas is released inside that room. Mike goes to climb the ceiling. A second agent with a mask and shotgun breaks inside. Mike confronts him, smacks agent head using kettlebell. Phoebe falls from ceiling. She got a mask fall from agent face. Mike exposed to gas, so Phoebe took him, snatches shotgun, flees out swiftly. Phoebe takes Mike outside and shoots the first agent, who releases the gas inside. Mike vomited blood due to inhaling the gas. Phoebe recovered an antidote from an agent and injected it into Mike, waking him up. Mike's subconscious stage recalls flashes of memories with Phoebe. Mike is feeling okay now, and he pushes Phoebe back, asking how she knew about gas and what's going wrong with him. She says she is his handler, assigned 5 years ago. Mike felt betrayed by Phoebe's non-disclosure of his secret. Then Mike runs to his car, followed by Phoebe, and they both board car. Mike reacted, "Stop fake crying, they trained well, why play with his emotions?" Agent Lasseter violently collides car with a military vehicle, the cars fall backward from the bridge. Lasseter walks into the car and grabs Phoebe, knocking her unconscious. He pours gas into the car, leaving Mike inside. Meanwhile, Victoria Lasseter came to spot rescued Mike. Lasseter wakes Phoebe to reveal that the car has exploded and burned, and she screams loudly. Agent Lasseter brought Phoebe to Yates at the military camp, where she questioned who gave him the authority to do this. Yates briefed her she didn't have the right to ask, that she was behind her boyfriend, that they manufactured it in the lab, and that as a result, she may throw away her entire life, and Phoebe kept quiet. Victoria Lasseter rescued Mike and moved him to a petrol station near the Chestnut station. Mike asks that Victoria explain what is going on to him, and Victoria discloses that he volunteered at the age of 18 for the program Wiseman. All subjects failed, and he is one successor, but the program drove her nuts, so she shut it down. She deleted his memories, and she gave him phobias to keep him from leaving his hometown. He is attempting to kill in order to try to escape town. The owner of a garage spotted individuals conversing on his premises and informed the authorities of their presence. Victoria follows Mike home with a shotgun. Mike lies stoned on his bed. Victoria is looking for people to fight. Victoria tells Mike that Phoebe supported him and believed in him while he was training. She was meant to stay for a short time until Mike was settled, then go back to the CIA headquarters for a meeting and move on to her next task. However, she fell in love with Mike so much that she sacrificed everything to be with him. Yates contacts Petey and instructs him to launch a drone over Mike's house and blow it up. Petey flies the drone to the target position. The drone in the air travels towards the target, locking the target, and waits for confirmation to fire. And after that, Petey disengages it. Yates' agents arrive at Mike's house. The first agent disables Victoria, and Mike pushes him out. The second agent shoots Victoria using a teddy bear silencer. The third one repeatedly fires on Mike. The kitchen is smashed, and Mike flies a frying pan into the air, then shoots pan to bounce off at agent, who is shot and falls on the floor. Petey called Raymond Kruger that he is in charge of both Yates and Victoria. He clarified what was happening with the operation. Kruger starts his travel to reach the town called Lyman. Yates called Mike's house to make sure Mike was okay. Mike confirmed that Yates was ready to give up. Yates said that he had Phoebe with him. Mike wanted to talk to her, so Phoebe spoke with Mike and told him that she loves him and wants to be with him forever, just like a tree stands in one place for its whole life and a car stays in one spot. Mike wants to get Phoebe back, so Yates arranged a meeting at the parking lot of Max Goods. Mike enters a military vehicle shooting crackers. Crackers explode around to dismantle the group. Yates took Phoebe to the supermarket with the group. In a military vehicle, Mike bursts crackers to disperse the group as he rushes into the supermarket, shattering glass as he goes. Mike used kitchen tools to take out one agent at a time. Phoebe grabs a paper clip from a holder. Mike throws more firecrackers at the agents and uses a hammer to attack them. Yates takes Phoebe with him. She removes the handcuffs using a paper clip and hits Yates in the face. Then Victoria grabs Yates and comes close to killing him by strangling him with a cable before Kruger arrives and intervenes. Mike almost defeats Lasseter, but he suddenly falls down and says sorry. He explains that he cannot control his actions and admits that Mike is a better agent than him. Mike allows Lasseter to leave. Mike and Phoebe are leaving the supermarket. SWAT teams, consisting of armed troops, are currently in position and are targeting them with laser marks. Mike wears a ring to Phoebe on her finger and shows it to the troops. But they used an electric shock to temporarily disable them. Kruger takes Yates and Victoria into the woods and scolds them for allowing many people to die because they activated Mike. This includes 7 civilians, which is a very serious mistake. Yates admits to engaging in an activity without authorization, yet he argues that he only intervened in a program that was already in progress. He thinks Kruger would appreciate him if the program turned out to be successful. But then he shoots and causes his death. Victoria is very scared and she asks Kruger to spare her life. However, Kruger is being heartless and tells her that she has to find a way to perform a miracle in order to survive. Victoria is saying that Mike killed 17 tough people on his own. This shows that Mike is really important and should be kept alive. We go back to the beginning of the story where Kruger is watching Mike being interviewed. 6 months have passed. Mike and Phoebe are in the Philippines for a vacation that seems to be focused on romance. Mike goes away from reception desk and Phoebe stays there. She looks at a camera where Victoria and Petey are watching them. Mike steps into an elevator and is taken away by 2 Mandarin gangsters, as Victoria had intended. The leader of the criminals threatens and bullies Mike, but Mike notices things he can use in the room and quickly starts taking action. At the end of the movie, there is a sequence of Apollo 8 cartoons where Mike defeats all the bad guys and runs away from the hotel with Phoebe. They finally go on their well-deserved vacation to Hawaii.